Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 85 for January 26th to 29th. Thanks so much for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home for our last week of lockdowns. We cannot wait to reopen our restaurants next week. So why don't we go ahead and get started? We've got an amazing menu for you. Rich does this once or twice a year. You think of Chef Rich Wilson as an amazing fine dining chef, which he is, but he also is an incredible barbecue chef and one of his passions. So we've got these amazing ribs that I've been smelling all the last couple days. So I put them in the oven for about 8 minutes now. So I'm just going to throw them in for 2 more minutes to get it to the first benchmark, and then we're going to baste them like crazy, put them back in 3 more times on broil. It's going to be amazing. So appetizer. We're going to bring this gorgeous chicken stock to a boil, and then we are going to throw the chicken confit and the cheddar and dill dumplings in. So we're going to reduce to a simmer once it's boiling, and then do 3 minutes for these guys in there, and then we're just going to top it with a Sofrito, so I'm going to need a little spoon for that guy. We've got the coleslaw. If you ordered last week, we had quite a few pots and pans. So this week, much easier. So 2 pots, 1 little pan, and the best part of tonight's meal, everything's pre-seasoned for you, except the carrots. We're going to add some salt and pepper to the carrots, but everything else, no seasoning required unless you need. We'll see. I always like a little extra pepper on my grits and a little bit of extra pepper on my coleslaw. Totally up to you guys. Okay. So I guess I can go ahead and get started on the carrots. No, I want to wait and baste the ribs a little bit first. So let's assume that when I pull them out, we're going to be at the 10-minute mark. And then we're going to turn the oven to broil. And we're going to pull them out. And we're going to baste them. So part of the reason why I do these videos every week, other than entertaining you guys, is because I get to test the recipes and see how much stuff we need to send. So right now, they sent me with a lot of this amazing Kansas City barbecue sauce. So I'm going to use a lot, and we're going to see if it's too much, because Megan, especially our chef who basically oversees the curated program, loves the saucy ribs. I wonder if Megan and Rich ever watch my videos like you guys do. We will see. Okay, I started there, but I'm going to need some tongs because I'm going to turn them over. Hopefully you guys can see this at home. And we're going to do this 3 times. Both sides. Yeah, we might just use all of this barbecue sauce. It takes quite a bit for the first tranche, just like painting, I think. Make sure to get it on the sides of the ribs as well. Okay, and we'll turn it back over. Make sure there's still lots of stickiness there. I might just throw a little bit extra on there. I should have probably done the back side first. Okay, so back in the oven. Hey Google, set a timer for 3 minutes. There we go. So now I'm going to take our chicken confit, and our dumplings. And I should have gotten a spoon ready to give this a little stir, especially the chicken confit. And I'm going to wait till it's all broken up, and then I'll turn it down to a simmer. And the timing will be similar to what we have for the ribs first basting. But I hope you guys are not cooking all your courses at once. I have to do it in order to keep the video tight, but for you, I hope that you're doing the appetizer, taking a break, chilling out, and then working on your main course afterwards and not trying to do all 3 at once. I also have our grits on the oven. We're going to turn that up a little bit and give them a little stir. So medium-low, just to warm them up. They should be seasoned, and they should have the right amount of cream and butter in there. And that's why I do these in advance. and tell the chefs afterwards, hey, you need a little more of this or a little less of this. So I'm gonna get my pan going on, medium high, or medium, excuse me. And we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of neutral oil, so in my case, grapeseed oil, but you can use canola oil or vegetable oil. And once that's warm, we're gonna throw the carrots in there. By the way, if you follow me on social media on either Facebook or Twitter, I just posted like these 12 amazing tips from the kitchen that I just agreed with all of them. So check it out on my Twitter or my Facebook feed. Reach out to me, follow me on Twitter is probably the easiest thing. And then, and you can check them out because they're really awesome. It's things that we talk about a lot in these videos, but they're game changing for cooking at home. Like resting meat properly or bringing the meat to room temperature before you sear it, or wait until the pan gets hot before you put the vegetables in. Like all of these things, really game changing. Okay, soup's coming along nicely. Sofrito is going to be ready. We've got this incredible dessert, French toast bread pudding, which I'm going to put in the oven once the ribs are up. So let's talk about the wine for a second, because always one of my favorites. So for the dinner for 2 wine pairings tonight, we have a Viognier from La Mancha in Spain. Now, this is not your typical Viognier. It's a lot more savory and saline, has some salinity to it, some saltiness. Exotic peach and apricot aromas with slightly nutty and floral notes. The palate is packed with intense peach, nectarine, and tropical fruit flavors with a light citrus uplift, which balances the full complex flavors and a touch of freshness. But again, I get that salinity from the saltwater air that is right near La Mancha. Hey Google, off. Okay, next round. So I'm going to turn our soup off, and we're going to baste the ribs again. So maybe I will do the thing that I didn't do the first time, is baste the bottom first. Or actually, you know what? All the sauce is still there. So what I'm going to do on this guy is I'm going to baste the top, turn them over, and put them back in the oven without really needing to baste the bottom side. But you guys do as you like. And yeah, we're going to use most of this sauce because we like the saucy ribs. Okay, that's done. This guy over. And then you get the final crust on the top on the third run. There we go. Actually, I'm not going to put it right at the top. I'm going to put it 1 run down. I'm always worried about putting things on the top burner when you're broiling. I've had some bad experiences, I think, in my childhood. Okay, so what do we do next? So yeah, the carrots. So the oil is warm. Let's throw the carrots in. Maybe it's not quite warm enough. Turn it up just a nitch. And let's see what we're cooking with for the carrots. Medium high, 1 tablespoon of canola per person, 5 minutes until they begin to caramelize. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of unsalted, always unsalted butter per person. And then the honey lime glaze, which I've got right there. 1 little carrot got away from me. So 5 minutes until we get that nice and brown. Okay, so the coleslaw, make sure to give it a little mix up because the juices probably have rusted to the bottom. Give that a stir. And I think while we're waiting, we're probably good to plate our lovely soup. So share the dumplings. Don't give them all to one person. I think we've got 3 per person. And also share the chicken confit equally. Usually we divide these in 3. However, my son, our son, I should say, I don't want to take full credit for him, is not a huge fan of anything with a soup. So maybe he'll have some of the dumplings and some of the chicken, but not so much on the soup. I love broth. If you know me, if you follow me on social media, you know that I make brodo at home, and it is one of the great joys. Got a lot of broth here. A little bit left over. Give the carrots a little stir. Give the grits a little stir. Okay, next up, Sofrito. And this just gives a lovely richness because of the oil that it's packed in, and also some brightness of flavors with the celery and the carrots and the onions of the Sofrito. Lovely. And make sure that you wipe up your plate. Hopefully you can see this. I'm not going to hold it up too much. But there is our lovely chicken confit with the cheddar and dill dumplings and the Sofrito in the amazing chicken stock that our team puts together. All right, we'll see if I can get that to the table for a good picture. Okay, carrots, looking good. Grits, also looking good. But I'm sure my timer is going to go off. Oh, I didn't set another timer. Whoops. I bet you we're at 3 minutes now. So let's check out our ribs. It's got a nice little coating going on. And let's use the last of the barbecue sauce. Baste this puppy. Again, make sure to get right there on the sides as well. Ribs are getting flipped over. I never thought I'd be doing like 150 YouTube videos between this and our big night ins and the special New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day stuff. Think about us for Valentine's Day, by the way. We are thinking about doing a special Valentine's Day menu, even though it's on a Monday when we're typically not open. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Really nice. Okay, so it didn't burn too much on the middle rack, so I'm going to try the top rack for the last so that we get a really nice glaze on here. Throwing caution to the wind. And in the meantime, the carrots, I think, are ready to go, and I also think I put too much oil in here. So let me peel off some of this oil because we're going to put some butter in there to finish it off. We do this sometimes with veg, but in this case, the instructions didn't call for it, but I think I just over-oiled it. And why not do this now before I forget? A little salt and pepper. Okay, the grits, looking good, smelling good. So let's get the dessert ready, shall we? So French toast bread pudding. So we want to keep it moist. So we have wrapped it in saran wrap. So just unwrap it, put it on a baking sheet, and as soon as the ribs come out, this guy is going in. I'm not going to put it there because then my oven's going to beep. But I need something to put the ribs on when they come out of the oven. So I'm probably going to just put it right here. And let me tell you about the delicious red. I love this one. We've had it before. It's the Bacchus from Ciu Ciu Winery in La Marche, Italy. And it's just delicious. With the ribs, it's that wonderful, smoky, briny, big, flavored, juicy thing that you want with some ribs. Okay, carrots are probably good, so I'm going to turn off the heat. Let them hang out in the butter for a second. We're going to mix the grits around. And I think the ribs are going to be ready to go. Let me move this over. And I'm going to cancel the broiler. And I'm going to bake this guy. Cancel, bake. And this guy is going in. Carrots are good. Let's see how we're going to plate this puppy. Plate your grits followed by the carrots and then the slaw next. So our grits first. I feel kind of silly plating this in half because I know we're going to divide it 3 ways. Although, to be honest with you, our son doesn't love grits either. So I and my wife get more of these than he does. So what do we say? So the grits followed by the carrots. I think I've got some tongs here. There we are. Lovely. Make sure to even them out. And now, whoops. We didn't need those anyway. Ooh, ribs looking good. Our tongs. I always have a hard time trying to imagine how to plate ribs, but I think we did it, and I think this is going to be my Instagram plate. I should have put the coleslaw down first, but those are the breaks. I'm going to figure it out now, and we'll clean up the plate afterwards. Let's just not mix the veg. There's a lot of delicious coleslaw here. I'm a big fan of coleslaw. Hope you guys are too. Okay. Clean this up. And for good measure, why don't we put a little more of the Alabama barbecue sauce, or sorry, Kansas City barbecue sauce. I know Rich can probably do a master class on the difference between Kansas City and Alabama barbecue sauce. This is a big meaty meal, and I hope you're going to love it. Slide that around. Let's put that back there. And there we go. Our lovely baby back ribs, roasted carrots, cheddar grits, and then our classic coleslaw with the Kansas City barbecue sauce. And dessert. It's not often that we do a warm dessert. Make sure, very important, to pull these things out and get them to room temperature. The cinnamon chantilly and the smoked maple. Okay, so there's our banana bread French toast. And we're going to need a couple spoons for this. Which am I going to do first? I think I'm doing the chantilly first. Looking nice. Tasting really nice. This might be a little thick. We're going to maybe thin it out a little bit. You can probably include a little bit less than this because there's a lot. That's why I do these videos. And there is our lovely French toast bread pudding, the cinnamon chantilly, and the smoked maple. I hope you love your meal this week. Thank you again for ordering, and I really hope we get to cook and curate for you again really soon, either at home or, thank God, in the restaurants starting January 31st.